Everybody, welcome back to the WWII channel. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is not another currency lesson video, which is what you might be thinking, but something along the lines of currency. I haven't uploaded a video in a while, and I decided that I wanted to go over my paper money collection album again. So I did this towards the beginning of my channel, like about 10 or 15 videos in. I don't remember what it was when I went over my album. I have added some stuff recently, some minor things, and I've made a video about successive videos about all the different types of currency I added, but some currency I added in wasn't really worth making an entire video over. But I've added a lot of that type of stuff, and I had a bad camera angle in that video, and I didn't talk very well, and it just it was a long time ago. And being that this channel is mainly centered around currency in its name, collecting old money, we're going to take a turn here today and we're going to revisit my paper money collection album. I do have a coin collection album, and I may be going over that again in the future, but that remains at the beginning of my channel. So I will be getting rid of that old video and replacing it with this. So without any further discussion, we're going to get into looking at my paper money album. So here we have the banknote album. It's designed for foreign currency mainly, of different sizes and things. There's not really any U.S. currency featured on the front, nor does it talk about that. But I've made it work for U.S. currency. So on the inside, I just stock some note holders that I've gotten. So these are good. Two by two note holders. Got some different ones there, just if you need to carry stuff or something and you not keep it in the album. This is the only large size piece of currency I have. So before the 1930s, currency was larger, as you can see, compared to a normal dollar today. You can see how it was bigger. So this was a $1 silver certificate from series of 1923, but it could have been anywhere from 1923 to 1925. It was printed, or 27. So that's that. And this was silver certificates were just backed by silver, so that's what allowed them to hold their value. And you could take this to a bank and exchange it for a dollar in silver. So basically a silver dollar at any time you wish to do that. So these notes obviously held their value a lot better than when money became not backed by precious metals. So this is the only large size note I had because it was like one of the cheapest you could get. I wasn't a super expensive buyer at the time, and so that's that I got. These are our next three silver certificates. These are now small size notes. This was the silver certificate issued to American soldiers in the North African campaign of World War II. So this was their currency that they used over there. And then this was issued to American soldiers serving in Hawaii. And there was a heightened military presence in there throughout World War II, obviously, because of the attack on Pearl Harbor by Japanese air and naval forces in 1941. So these were issued so that they could be repudiated or canceled on demand if they came into the hands of the enemy. So if the enemy tried to sell this on a world market somewhere, it would not have any value once it was repudiated. So these were a special kind of note issued for that period. These were also issued in $5 and $10 denominations, these yellow silver certificates. And these were issued in $5, $1, $5, $10, and $20 denominations. However, the $20 bill was not a silver certificate. It was a regular Federal Reserve banknote. And so they all had brown seals because there was no silver certificates of small size notes past the denomination of $10. So these notes are special, and I only have the $1 notes because the $5, $10, and the $20 for this one are considerably more expensive, and I saving my money right now, but back then I did not have a lot of money to be spending on this stuff. But I did get some good stuff, and I found some good things. And then down here we just have a regular series of 1935A, 1935 through 1935F. This is the last series of 1935F. It was not printed anywhere near 1935 because it's the last letter series. So it could be, who knows when it was printed, 40s, 50s. But yeah, that's that. And these are only worth about $3 to $5. So they are very common. And then we have the backs here. This is the regular back. These have signatures on them. I have no idea who signed them. It could have been soldiers, somebody, I don't know. And then this obviously says big Hawaii overprint on the back here. I don't know if you can see. And then we have the back of that. This is a series 1957A silver certificate, so this was the next series after the 35s. This is a series 1995 $1 note. They're not that significant, but it is harder to find notes today from the 80s and 90s and 70s and things like that, so I kept it. This is a very good condition series 2017 star note. So when these notes are printed and there's an error and it's caught, they pull the note out of circulation and it's not able to be, and it's not passed into circulation, and they replace it with a note that is marked by a star at the end of the serial number. So that's how you know this is a replacement. And these are considerably more valuable in certain issues than others. This is probably not worth anything, but on older notes, star notes are far more uncommon, and they bring a lot more valuable, especially to rarer pieces of currency. And on a lot of older pieces of currency, stars at the end of the serial number were just used as a decoration. So as you can see here, there's letters, and there's a star there. And then as we can see, "In God We Trust" motto is added above one. The word one, and it was not on that before on earlier issues of U.S. currency. And then this is just a series 2006 with a fancy serial number, so this would bring a couple more dollars than what it's worth, but not too much if somebody was willing to buy it. I just kept it for a nice serial number. You're looking for repeating digits or really repetitive numbers and things like that. It's very complicated. I can make a whole video on serial numbers, so we're not going to dive into that, but that's just kind of a nice serial number. This is a pretty good condition note. I just kept it for an example for a good condition one. Another star note here. And this is a "Where's George" note. So there's a program on the internet, it was started years ago, where notes, $1 notes, are marked with a website, which is "Where's George," and it allows you to track the bill. So if you type in the serial number of the note in that box it gives you to type in the serial number, it will tell you where it's been. Now this note already tells you where it's been. It's been in Peabody, Massachusetts at some point in its time, and it's a series 2009 note. And then you go to www.where'sgeorge.com. So these are pretty fun, collectibles and interesting things, but I did find one in circulation, so I put that in here. And then down here, this is a quadruple 7 serial number, and that's about, it's somewhat uncommon, but if you can get 5 or more of the same number, that's when they start to get really rare. 4 of the same digit is kind of like minimum, borderline common and rare, borderline uncommon and rare, but I just kept it because it's kind of nice condition. And then down here, this was in a currency set I bought. This is a series 1953 red seal label tender note $2 bill. So this isn't like the green seal ones that we're used to seeing, but this is basically just a regular note. This was issued before the green seal ones, and it's just currency that isn't backed by anything. This was the legal tender notes that were not backed by precious metals, and they had been issued since the late 1920s. Monticello on the back, Thomas Jefferson's house. Then I have a series 1953C one in a little nicer condition. And then these are four I got passed down through my family, I think, 1976 series. So this was the first year that these green seal $2 bills were issued in 1976 to commemorate the I think it's the bicentennial year of the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. So 1976 was a big year for coin commemoratives and paper money issues. Also, the 1776 and 1976 commemorative quarter was issued that year with the drummer man on the back. I don't have one of them on me right now, but yeah, so I have four of them, and they are in very nice condition. And all of them are 1976. The first three are from the Atlanta, Georgia F Federal Reserve Bank, and then this one's from the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is C. So there's A through L in these little circles, and that's just the 12 Federal Reserve Banks in the United States that are labeled by a number, and that's where these notes come from. So this is a $5 silver certificate, series of 1934D. The 1934 series of notes are very characteristic by their large denomination numbers in blue. So there was a $1 silver certificate in 1934, a 5, and a 10. The 10s are worth considerable more money for some reason in silver certificates, I think, because there's less of them printed. That's the back of that. I have a red seal legal tender note just like the 2s here, and a $5 from the series 1963, the last series year for that, or the last series. I found this in at a gas station in the change that I got back, and it was in pretty good condition. The series 1963A. So this is the note design that came after this. They switched to the green seal, and these were considered now Federal Reserve notes and not United States note. And that's from the Philadelphia Bank. And then I just kept this because this is the older style of currency before the notes that we have today. So I have a full set of this currency and a full set of this currency, and I'll show you what I mean by that as we progress through the book. So this is what it looked like before we went to this currency. So I just kept one because might as well. It's old. That's the series of 1999. And then we have the different. This is before currency was colorful. So we have that design and that design. And then this is a star note I kept. And as you can see, this is the currency we're used to today. This I got from a toy cash register I had when I was real young that I used. This was the money that came with it. I only have two of the bills. There was 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s, and some change. These are the only two bills. I have the 10 too. So it's just kind of goofy looking money from my childhood that I kept. And then this is a $10 Federal Reserve bank note from series of 1929 after President Roosevelt signed us out of the gold standard and made gold-backed currency illegal. So this is the transition from gold certificates into national currency. And I think this is one of the larger onsets of contributed to even more financial instability coming into the Great Depression, because that's when these notes were issued, because now we have currency that is no longer backed by precious metals, and so it lost its value quite quick. And then we saw the crisis that emerged during the Great Depression of starting in 1929. So we have this, and then for some reason all the notes had the U.S. Treasury building on the back of display money, despite it only being on the $10 bill. But that bugged me when I was a kid, because I was all over money for some reason when I was a kid. I loved this stuff, and I still do, but in a more normal sort of way now. But anyway, this is the back. I'm going to take it out because I have it in a holder. But that's and I bought this. And so yeah, and these were issued from denominations of $1 or $5 all the way to $100. And then they just specify which one of the 12 Federal Reserve Banks they were printed at. So B represents New York, this is where that came from. And it is referred to as national currency. So that's that. I found this the other day in, once again, gas station change. This is a Series 1985 $10 note. So I've been needing one of these for a while to complete my set. I have one of the older $10 bills, series of 2001, I believe, not in the greatest condition, and I just kept one of these. This $10 bill, I tried to spend it 3 times, and I managed to get it back every time, so I just considered it as kind of like lucky. But then I kind of decided to get rid of it, because that's kind of like lame, but then I decided I might as well keep it in here just as a type to illustrate that this is after this, and so on. You might as well just keep it in there. But yeah, that's basically that. You can see the 3 different types of 10s there. This is the $10 bill I kept from the cash register, like I said. This is a $20 bill from the series of 1985. This is an older 20, and it came after this. See the backs of them there, White House. This is, I just kept this, I think, because this was the first year of issue for these, the series of 2004, after they switched from this design to that design. So I just kept that because it's the very first issue. Then this is a star note I kept. And then this, I found in change. So somebody brought this in. He said, hey, look at this 50 I got. And I thought it was just going to be like, another one like this, not very rare. But it turned out it was a Series 1950D. So these notes came before these notes. So this was the issue before this. So as you can see, the words up here are longer on this one, which indicates that it's older. And so this note still says that it's redeemable and lawful money at the Treasury of the United States or at any Federal Reserve Bank, something that was discontinued with these next issues. But anyway, I thought that was pretty cool, and these are especially hard to find in circulation like I found it. So, yeah, that is pretty neat, I thought, and that's the back. You can notice the very rich green color on older currencies is not present on the newer currencies. So here I have an older 50 from the series of 1985. I have an older 50 from 1996. And then these are older $100 bills, not too old. I have a few of them. This is the nicest one, obviously, by far, the series 1990. And then I have this older one in very nice condition from 1996. So this came after this. So like I said, I have the full set now of both of those types of currencies. So I have the older 5s, the older 10s, the older 20s, the older 50s, and the older 100s. So I completed that set of currency. It's not really a huge accomplishment. Most of this money is not worth barely anything, but it's old, it's pieces of history, it's hard to find, and that's enough for me, and I like to collect money, so I'm not really too worried about that. Back here, I just have some miscellaneous stuff. This is my toy credit card from probably one of my cash register sets I had when I played bank teller when I was young, or little. This is a story I wrote on a piece of parchment or paper about something I did in Minecraft. I can't even really read it because my handwriting was so terrible. That's that. This is my first strap I got from the bank. It was a strap of $2 bills. I was going to search it, go through it for these Red Seal $2 bills because I saw all these banknote hunters on YouTube trying to find these and stacks of $2 bills from the bank, and I was inspired, so I went and got that. This is from a Play Money set you'll see later. This is a toy $1,000 bill that I got when I was a kid, and I used it in my bank teller role playing. There's 9 of them, and I have 8 of them here, and I had to put one in here. But yeah, this obviously not real. They quit printing $1,000 bills after 1946. This is series 2005 with a blue seal and the White House in the back. But just a nice little piece of play money there that I kept. This is my only piece of foreign currency I have. When my parents went to Canada, they forgot to, they didn't exchange this back to U.S. currency when they came back, like, because you usually exchange all your currency to the currency of the country you're going to, and then back when you leave to your home country's currency. They didn't do that with this, and they brought this back with them. So that's a $5 Canadian, $5 Canadian note from, it says Ottawa 1986 on it. I don't know how their series works. I know nothing about Canadian currency or other world currency, so that's basically that note. Here's a commemorative $1 million bill of President Eisenhower, president from 1953 to 61. This just commemorates him. This is a $1 million bill I got. And then this is another $1 million bill that came in a play money set. So this is, like I said, the commemorative. This is Eisenhower's house in Abilene, Kansas. And then that's his postage stamp with his face on it, his portrait on it, and obviously the Eisenhower Ike dollars that I have a few of, that the dollar coins that we all know and love. And this just has the U.S. Capitol building on the back. This is the play money set I had when I was a kid that I used to play with. It's just real small money. It had the older designs of currency on it, like I have. So that's the backs. And it didn't come with $50 bills, and that always irked me. I needed to have the correct stuff. So I made my mom go on the 24-hour Funny Money website and print off $50 bills and cut them out of printer paper. And then I used those as my $50 bills. I got rid of all this money, and I just kept the set because I didn't obviously play with it anymore. But the 50 it didn't have backs, which always bothered me, but I coped with it. And then that's that. So this is my paper money album. That is my collection. It's not too substantial, and it's not really a whole lot of worth to it. But it is, like I said, pieces of history and rarities and stuff that's hard to find. And so I appreciate doing this. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for my video, today's video and my currency album. And we will be moving on from here.